Hello once again, wrestling fans. I am Mud Puppet Joel. He is Mud Puppet Ryan. We are the Mud Puppets here to call another wrestling match for you. Of course, here we've got the Richie Boy, self-proclaimed Richie Boy, Breyer Wellington. He will be taking on Ace High Cameron Skyy.
Looks like Breyer has a few words to deliver to the audience here, Joel.
Hey, first of all, who played that crap for me? That's not my ring music. In fact, I specifically stated I wanted Sinatra.
Sound guys usually get it at PW.
Hey, you look like a Ric Flair lookalike.
Hey, do me a favor, all right? Why don't you enter the Biggest Loser? I know you wouldn't win because you know nothing of dieting. That's obvious.
Breyer taking some shots at the fans and their weight.
What? Well, we got another one over here, do we? Oh, you must be, you must own the place, huh? No, I own the place. I'm the greatest wrestler of all time. Why don't you people...
For the record, Breyer Wellington does not hold the legal deed to that building. A lot of hecklers in the crowd that night.
You know what? You know what the problem is in America today?
I'll give you a few.
Obesity.
He is right.
It's big of you to admit that, right?
I'll admit it.
Hey, you need a couple bucks, man? You look like you need a couple bucks. Maybe after the show, you can wipe the guy that I'm wrestling's blood off my boots. How about that?
Breyer really on the soapbox here. Well, these fans trying to give it right back. Falling a little short, perhaps.
Oh, they're shooting some spitballs in a battleship with Breyer Wellington.
Yeah, not everybody's you know, a stick man. Fans like to get up sometimes, and they can say they can have their say, but they might get cut up.
It is true. It is true. And Breyer, he's obviously not a fan favorite.
No, great wrestler though. Oh, wants the camera out of his face.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, weighing in tonight at 199 pounds, here is Ace High Cameron Skyy.
Yeah, Cameron Skyy, I guess you could say sort of the antithesis of Breyer Wellington. He's high energy, a fan favorite, a crowd pleaser. Wait for him to come through the curtain here.
And he is not the Richie Boy.
No.
Not at all.
No.
He probably lost all his money gambling.
Oh, that's where you're going to go with that, huh?
But he had enough to buy those glasses, so... kind of bursts out of the back.
Yeah. It's the ring with a lot of energy. Of course, Cameron Skyy, you know, as most indie wrestlers do, they work many different promotions, but primarily a Clash wrestling talent of late, last couple of years anyways. This again from the same show. We showed you a match from last week, January 8th, 2011, so a little more than 2 years ago now. And Breyer Wellington, I personally haven't watched Breyer wrestle in person recently, but did see him work this night and a few other MPW shows, MCWA shows. Very good wrestler. I know, I'm not sure if he is currently, but I know he at the time has held the JPW Heavyweight Championship. Of course, the federation run by Detroit's own Insane Clown Posse.
Has anybody got any glade for this old man?
Breyer still going. If he asked if anyone had legs,
I believe he did. He's still giving it to that fan. I think that fan maybe got under his skin a little.
I don't think that man was missing his legs.
I think he had legs, but maybe they don't meet Breyer's specifications for what legs should be.
Maybe not.
Scathing
Richie
look.
Boy standards.
You know the
From
guy
the
who
Richie
rise up
Boy.
it all is the Ace landed up.
Still going at the fans. He's really beating this dead horse. They even said, come on, pal, we've had enough. Get in there and wrestle already. Cameron Sky's ready. More than ready. He gives the referee his glasses.
control, of course. Cameron Skyy, he likes to get in there, likes to do the high flying. Whereas the Richie boy, he's going to want to ground and pound his opponent and use his submission wrestling techniques.
True enough, but Breyer no stranger to that top rope either. They pull out some high risk maneuvers here and there. Who was it, Ryan? A match a few years ago. We were at an MCWA show. Featured Breyer Wellington. Who did he wrestle in?
I believe he wrestled Zach Gowen.
Was it Zach Gowen?
If I'm remembering correctly, and they put on a fantastic match. I believe that was the main event of the show, Joel.
Yeah, and then I remember there was a Fatal 4-Way he was in, correct? That featured Phil Atlas and Petey Williams.
Yes, yes.
Another great match that MCWA put on.
And Breyer Wellington, I mean, for all the showmanship, for all the jawing with the fans, when the guy steps into the ring, he gets the job done.
He's an excellent wrestler.
Very talented guy. And Cameron Skyy's got a long haul ahead of you here against the Richie boy.
Well, Cameron Skyy, not an overly big guy, neither is Breyer Wellington, but the point I want to make is Cameron Skyy's got some fight in him. I watched once at a Clash show. This guy went toe-to-toe with the caveman Tyler Elkins inside of a steel cage. Now, Cameron Skyy eventually did lose that match, but anyone that can step inside of the cage with a man's size and attitude and physical prowess of the caveman, you have to give him some credit.
Fans are cheering for Cameron Skyy. They love him. They hate Breyer, and so we know where their loyalties lie in this one, and they locked up.
It's clear Breyer hates them too.
Yeah.
Nothing but contempt on his face for these people.
You have to wonder, Joel, where does that kind of contempt come from? In the world of wrestling, there are a lot of heels, bad guys, if you will, and some of them don't like the fans. Some of them are indifferent to the fans, but some, like Breyer, just seem to viscerally hate the fans.
Different personality types.
Because I got a little bit.
He's going at him again. People have all sorts of different motivations. I know a guy like Mark Joke always says, what are the fans for? That they're idiots. They're not going to help you win a match. Now, I don't entirely agree with that philosophy. I mean, the fans,
buy it.
They foot the bill. They're paying these guys.
Listen, they pay their money. They have their right to sit in their seat and cheer or boo who they want, but that doesn't mean you got to go up there and kiss up to them and act like they're the be-all, end-all.
Okay, I can hear that point too. Nice takedown there by Breyer. Got a nice wrist block applied, and he's got Cameron Skyy grounded.
Breyer Wellington's so good. You saw there he had that knee right up against the jawbone. And that's just one of the ways you add additional pressure, you add additional pain to your opponent with everything you do.
A lesser wrestler would have been satisfied with just the wrist lock.
Exactly. Breyer here working that arm, really, really twisting on it. Cameron Skyy trying to get his arm in there to alleviate the pressure, but no go. He's going to get whipped in.
Nicely done. He sprung off the ropes there.
Wow.
Came back with the elbow. Nice reversal.
That was impressive.
Like I said, he's a very quick guy. Neither one of these guys, you can't underestimate Cameron Skyy. Like I said, right into the turnbuckle there. I mean, oftentimes, nice chop there, we talk about guys not being a big man or overly big. And I know some people, maybe casual fans or people who are unfamiliar with wrestling, might be a little confused by that. These aren't small guys.
No.
But in the world of wrestling, there's your Eddie Venoms.
Sure.
Big men, and then everyone else.
Right.
To a large degree.
Well, yeah, exactly. In wrestling, it has traditionally been a sport of giants. A guy like Eddie Venom, a guy like Movado, some of the other bigger guys we've seen here in MPW. Those kind of guys traditionally have more success because their size and strength just comes as a huge advantage in the ring. But we've seen a bit of a metamorphosis in wrestling over the last decade or so. We've seen smaller guys, climb to the mountaintop, move to the big leagues, get more featured time, and I personally think that's a good thing because it sort of gives a different flavor to the wrestling we see in these smaller,
suplex there.
Smaller in quotations guys. Here's a cover. They give you a more athleticism in the ring. They give you more exciting matches often, and that's a good thing in my opinion. So it's been interesting to see that.
Well, I know whenever I'm at an indie show, I really enjoy watching this style of wrestling. It's Cameron Skyy, nice reversal into the pin there, gets a 2 count. And it harkens back to a lot of guys that we grew up watching, of course, on television in the WWF, of course, the WWE now, like Bret Hart, Mr. Perfect, even Shawn Michaels, that style of wrestling, those builds, in my opinion, has produced some of the best wrestling I've ever watched. You think of a guy like Eddie Guerrero. A lot of people consider Eddie Guerrero the greatest wrestler of all time.
Sure.
He was excellent.
And yeah, and that style of wrestling, the athletic, energetic, technically proficient type of wrestling that you see with guys like Breyer Wellington, Cameron Skyy, Kid Hybrid, Phil Atlas.
Suplex right into the pin, nicely done. Turns into 2, and Cameron Skyy reverses it, and doing everything he can here to counter Breyer Wellington. Another one right down in the pin again on the 2 count.
You see Breyer, he's holding on to him, and each one of these suplexes is putting even more pressure on that arm, too, that he was working on.
Into the DDT, could not get the third. Went to the well one too many times.
Cameron Skyy with a beautiful reversal there. I gotta give it to Cameron Skyy. He's very innovative in his reversals in the ring. He seems to think on a different plane than a lot of wrestlers, and that one really dinged Breyer Wellington.
What I like about Breyer Wellington, certainly not his attitude or his venomous hatred for the fans, but what I do like is he reminds me of Gutter or Caleb Stills in a lot of ways, that he will pick apart his opponent's limbs. He really will focus his attack on one or just a few areas of his opponent, and it's really a surgical strike to wear his opponent down. It set him up for a submission hold.
It's an effective strategy, and these guys trading punches down. It looks like Cameron Sky's going to get the best of it.
Skyy takes him down to the mat with that punch, and now he is fired up. And before we get too far into this one, as Cameron fires up, he puts him down with another elbow. Remind fans that this Saturday, February 23rd, 7:30 bell time, Metro Pro, in conjunction with Viper Pro and MCWA, return live action, bouncing off the walls in Wyandotte. If you want more information on that one, you call 734-246-9977. Cameron looks to deal him in, brings down the hammer on him, goes for the cover. Referee doing a nice job checking the shoulder there. Once again, we mentioned last week, tickets for adults $12. Kids 12 and under are just $5. Bouncing off the walls is located at 3887 4th Street in Wyandotte. Right next door to the China Star, which I know we are familiar with.
China Star, great traditional Chinese food. So maybe before the show, stop in and get yourself some dinner.
We're gonna need some sponsorship money from them. Now.
I believe we are. We'll have to work on that for next week.
Speaking of a sponsor, I do believe this show is sponsored by JJ's Pizza.
Well, and then of course, if you're in the mood for pizza, you can't
pizza and Chinese. They're right there. Breyer. Oh my goodness, you saw Cameron Sky's neck and whiplash effect on that.
That was a rough looking one. You can see Cameron Skyy all twisted up.
Might be it for him. On that card Saturday, MPW Tag Team Champions, Marvelous Action, Mike Marvel and Action Jackson, taking on the Scum Dogs, Paul Bowser and Creep. You've got Joka supposed to be defending the MCWA Heavyweight Championship, but being that he is the human being that he is, and I use the term human being very loosely, I wouldn't be surprised if he weasels his way out of that.
Oh, come on.
Got Breyer Wellington going up top here. Yes. Oh, he missed it. Oh.
And he hit with a ton of velocity.
Sure did.
That ribcage took a pounding.
My goodness. Yeah, he went for it all there. That was all or nothing, and he came up with nothing. He Cameron Skyy with a tremendous opening here. Now Breyer, chest first in the turnbuckle. 2 high-impact moves he just ate. A bulldog from Cameron Skyy, and all of a sudden, Cameron Skyy has turned the tables. 2 count there. Well, rounding out that card, we're supposed to have Andy Musket defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Kid Hybrid. Just a heated rivalry developing there. And in a match of the behemoths, Movado takes on Bulldozer.
Wow. That should be something else.
Cameron Skyy up top now. He misses the high impact elbow, so both men going for it all from the top. Both men missing.
And He's
Wellington
locking
is
in.
snapping
The cross
over.
arm breaker.
This could be Cameron Skyy is going to have no choice but to tap out. They're dead center of the ring, and just after missing that high impact elbow, Breyer Wellington very smartly goes for that arm, and he's got the Cameron Skyy has the rope. Breyer milking it for all it's worth, and then some. And I believe he's just been disqualified. I don't think the referee didn't have a choice. I mean, I credit Breyer Wellington for having the wherewithal to pounce like a rabid dog on that arm, but he didn't seem to care about winning the match.
He certainly did.
I mean, he was, although maybe he didn't know Cameron Sky's feet were on the ropes because he seems a little confused now that he's been disqualified.
The referee was giving him a count, Joel.
That's true.
He had to
True
be
enough.
aware.
True enough.
The Richie boy is furious. He is
He is
jawing at
in
him.
Cameron Sky's face, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some additional blows here. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, now Breyer Wellington making a point here.
Oh!
Buries him in the mat, and he's locking it back in.
Come on, that is
Now,
uncalled for.
normally I don't get such joy out of watching this, but I don't know. Breyer Wellington amuses me. I like it.
And I'm usually on the side of any guy who wants to rope break, but this just seems uncalled for.
And he's even jawing with the referees right now. He's taunting everybody in sight, the fans, ripping his opponent's arm off, and giving it to the officials at the same time. This guy's out of control. It's kind of refreshing.
Breyer Wellington causing chaos.
Someone chasing him out. Oh, there is Adam Reynolds, who was a cruiserweight champion at times in Metro Pro Wrestling. Chasing off Breyer Wellington.
And Joel, with a down moment here, we want to mention, we'd love the fans to check out mudpuppets.com.
Absolutely.
Or search for us on YouTube, look for the Mud Puppets.
Yeah, we've always looking for new subscribers to our ridiculous comedy. It's what we love to do. We'd love to quit our day jobs and do it full time. As Breyer Wellington giving it to the refs and Cameron Skyy some more. Yeah, but check us out, fans. Mudpuppets.com. We just made some updates to our website. Give us a look. We will see you next week with another match. As Breyer runs away.